Back to this motor. I think we'll have a look at it anyway. Have to. Okay. There's a little bit of corrosion in here, but whether it's enough to worry about, don't know. Yeah, some of that misty cloud did get in, but whether it got into the motor itself, well, it's not your normal DC motor, that's for sure. SC229B. No, probably just a transistor. Transistor or Darlington. Well, we'll clean the circuit board at the very least. Okay, I'll have to look at the circuit diagram to find out how it's driven. It's obviously not just DC. Well, or if it is, then that means this is gone kaput. Hope not. This could be rather difficult to replace. It's not just your average DC motor. I suppose you could replace it with an average DC motor, but it wouldn't be the same. I mean, it's a 1000 ZXL. You don't want to do nothing much I can do about it really, except put it back together and see what happens. I certainly don't want to have to pull this one apart. The DC motors are not a bit of a breeze compared to this thing. Okay, I'll put it back together. Yeah, hadn't tightened it enough. There was like a false spot where it was tight, but no, it had to go further. Alright, that's done. I'll have to check the schematic now to find out how you drive this motor. I'll be back. Well, I've had a look at the circuit diagram for this Capstan motor. And yeah, it's quite a complicated beast compared to other machines. It has a circuit board feeding it with feedback controls and so on, and that's a Darlington transistor there. And there's the integrated circuit in there. I think these are the plus and minus volts, but that doesn't mean much. It needs the rest of it to be working for it to actually actuate the motor. It looks to be a DC motor, but under some sort of, I don't know, maybe pulse width control with the IC inside there. There's a big long, or about a 9-pin single inline IC. And this Darlington is in series with the actual motor, which actually drives the motor off or on. Off or on, or actually not off or on, but linearly. So yeah, so it's a bit more complicated. So it should be all right. If not, we'll find out later on. So I'll put this back in the mechanism when it's ready to go. Did I give that a touch of oil? I don't know if I did. Won't hurt to give it a drop. Can't remember. Certainly feels smooth, so it should be all right. All right, well, now we get back to the other main part, which is the front part of the mechanism, and you can see all the gunk that's in there, all the brown crap from that capacitor. So here we go to install it. I'd love to be able to stick this in my ultrasonic bath and just clean the whole lot, but I'm loath to use it when there's all sorts of different things. It could separate things that I don't want separated. so we'll just give it basically a superficial clean, and it should be all right. All right. I think that's the pitch control. Okay. Yeah, see, this is the pitch control, which is, I think, on the front left of the... this pitch control is connected to this circuit board, which is then connected to this. And I imagine that potentiometer there is the actual adjustment of the frequency or speed of the motor. 4066, so that's a analog switches, probably, I think, 4 analog switches. So yeah, all right, moving right along. Okay, so now to clean this as much as I can. All right, I'll do that and get back to you. Right, bye. I've been slowly cleaning everything, and we're getting there. The last thing on my little list is to clean these hubs. So there's some gunk in there. And to replace the idler tyre, this beast here, which is what I'll do first thing, so that I can put it back on the mechanism assembly and not have to worry about it anymore. These hubs can mostly go on later. Oh, there is a clutch in there. Okay, yeah. Oh, geez, it's hard to see. Huh, okay. Well, I don't think I'll need to touch those. Anyway, first thing to do is to replace this tyre. I have the new one, STC 7874, in stupid imperial measurements again, and they were designed in metric. Now this is rock hard. Rock hard, and it's pretty unlikely that I could get it off. Now once again the decision is, do I take it totally apart to look at that little clutch in there? I don't think so. It's I don't think so. I think there's not a lot to be gained. There's always a lot to lose if things accidentally go wrong. Anyway, the tyre, the only way I know to get it off is to actually cut it out with a very sharp knife or hacksaw blade. And I'm pretty sure I used a hacksaw blade last time. I'm just trying to see where it might be. Yeah, see, there's a knife, but I think the trouble is that it's just so hard it doesn't want to cut even. So it just actually it might come off just by chipping away at it. This is really tough. Gotta be careful not to damage the rim. I can't believe how hard it's gone. Unbelievable. Oh, it's actually spinning in the rim. So, oh fuck. Oh shit. Jabbed myself. I'll have to give this video an R rating now. Blood and gore. That's a pretty deep hole in the thumb, but it'll be right. Aha, finally cracked it open. After I stopped bleeding all over it. So, got it here, should be able to crack it open now. Oh, almost. It's separated, so just got to take it off now. Come on. Right, yeah, I'll have to break it. There we go. Right. Yeah, there it is. Hard as a rock. Well, pull it apart, you'll see it won't bend, it'll just break. Oh. Like that. Yeah. Terrible, eh? Oh. Right. Right. Yeah, see now. That's how they should be, nice and supple. Okay, dig out the groove, make sure it's clean. Some alcohol, give it a good clean. Okay, I think that's as good as it needs to be. Now, this is where the magic trick comes in. We don't just put it back on like that. For one thing, it's really hard to do that. And secondly, it doesn't work. The reason being that you put it on, it's happened to me before, you stick it on like that, and what happens is it doesn't seat down in the base of the rim easily. What happens is it gets stuck on little down the sides and the bottom and is uneven around the rim, and you end up with highs and lows, and as it rotates it's up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's not a smooth circular motion. So the idea is that you get the tyre to go all the way down into the rim. So how do you do that? Well, the magic ingredient is rubber grease. This is automotive PBR rubber grease. It's wonderful stuff. If anyone works on cars and brake linings and so on, then you must have this. But it works pretty well in this particular instance. You can clean it off the outside later on, but to get the tyre in, you need to use this. Some other tyres actually go on quite easily, but these ones, it's a really tight fit, and you sort of need to do this. So get a little bit of grease on the cotton bud, and actually the cotton bud's a little bit, come to think of it, it's a little bit thick. What I'll use is the stalk of the cotton bud and go down into the groove, and you just wipe it around. Yeah, that's a much better way. It's all you need. It's just a slight film of it. But I notice that what I also need to do is actually put some on the inside of the tyre itself. It might seem like a lot, but it seems to do the trick. So around the inside, just a little film, and then just on the edge, whoops, on the inside edge, just go around and put a little bit. Right, other side. Can you see that, I hope? Okay, right, it's just ever so slight amount of on the inside corner and on the inside. Now it should go on fairly easily and seat properly. So let's give it a try. Now it always gets into this triangular view, so you have to sort of coax it to go down straight. Imagine how hard it would be without the grease. It would not want to go down at all, and it's extremely difficult. But with a little bit of the grease, yeah, so even though it's still actually, I'm going to make sure. Oh yeah, no, okay. Sometimes it's hard, yeah, it's hard to know what's the top edge when it does that. So yeah, I've got to do it again. I was actually trying to put it on its side like that instead of like that, because when it goes in at an angle, it's hard to know. It's almost a good idea to put a white edge down the on the outside. With some paint or something, but anyway, we'll do it again, and I'll just keep an eye on what's the outer edge. Yeah, you end up with a bit of grease everywhere. It's unavoidable. Right, I think we're almost there. I know which is the top edge. Yeah, see, now it's sitting in. Just imagine how hard this would be without the grease. Ah, there we go, it's slipped in. And so you go around and just make sure it's seated all the way in, pushing it in. Maybe even rolling it like that. It looks pretty good to me. But the little bit of grease in there will help it eventually settle down completely. Right, now with alcohol we clean off all of the excess. Yeah, it's pretty hard to avoid the grease getting onto everything. I don't think it's a huge worry. It's provided the outside of the tyre is clean, it should always be pretty good. So you just wipe it all down again. Wipe off any excess that may have happened. It's hard to remove it completely, but I found in the other one that I've done, it's really not a big concern, which is good. Otherwise it'd be a painful experience. Basically use as little grease as you absolutely need to, and try and keep your hands clean as much as you can during the process to stop it getting on everything. So just, you know, wipe down your hands and like that. Alright, well, it's looking good. So, and it looks even, doesn't look to be any bumps or rises. So that's great. So there we have it, folks. There's a new pinch roller. Sorry, not pinch roller. Idler tyre on the idler wheel. Yes, indeedy doody. Yeah, my thumb's recovering. All good. PBR rubber grease. Don't stop without us. High performance castor oil based grease designed to preserve and lubricate plastics, rubber and components such as O-rings, valves, diaphragms, cups and seals. This product has been developed for use with automotive brake assemblies, an ideal lubricant for automotive rubber products. made in Australia by PBR International, 264 East Boundary Road, East Bentley. I used to live in East Bentley. Huh. Wonderful stuff. This is my second tube. It lasts a long time. It really does. My first tube of it lasted, well, it's still there actually. There's still a little bit left in it, but I went and got a new one because it was almost empty. But it lasts decades, that much, for amateurs like myself. But for assembling brake assemblies, master cylinders and so on, it's essential. All right, well, shall we keep that? I might just keep it for the owner, just to show him what it was like. Right, what's next? Well, I don't think I'll disassemble these hubs any more than I need to. I'll just simply clean out some of the capacitor grunge, make it look a bit better.